Okay.
Hey, so hey, so Jan, good to see you quickly. How are you doing? It's now Tuesday. Your 100K was on Saturday. How you feel?
I am feeling pretty okay.
Yeah?
According to circumstances, yes, I'm pretty much
Is your
okay.
body working again? Everything?
Yep. Yep. After 3 days, we are supposed to rise again, right? So,
Right. Was it a near-death experience?
no, but it was tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you have to cross some boundaries that you have set for yourself and thought that
Mhm.
things were possible, but then you have to go through them.
Yeah.
But once you get close to the finish, and close is like 25K from the finish, you'll finish. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Then it's is it all willpower then, or encouragement?
um, yeah, I don't know. It's just, yeah, I think it's also a talent or a quality that I have,
Mm.
that I can really push my body
Yeah.
through certain pains.
Yeah.
So for me, it doesn't feel like it's all willpower. It's just something that I'm able to do.
Real
I
principles.
heard an ultra runner say, he was a Christian. He said, "Yeah, God has blessed me with the opportunity with the quality to suffer."
Right.
So that's
Yeah.
probably what happens. Yeah.
Wow. So can you describe what is it like after you finish, like for your body, for your physique? What was it like
Uh,
that night and the next day?
yeah. Well, it's a strange mix of feeling very euphoric about finishing it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're on a
Hmm.
sort of a high,
Hmm.
and physically on a very low point. So yeah, basically, right after you finish, your body, once you mentally decide this is the finish,
Mm.
your body says, "Oh, okay, I agree."
Wow.
So
Yeah.
it's finished. Everything starts to hurt. Your legs. It's nothing much more in it. So, and then you take off your shoes, and then your feet start swelling up. So you're not able to put your shoes back on again,
Mm.
and stuff like that. So it's a weird experience. And then the first night was, you don't really sleep because everything hurts
Yeah.
everything in your legs basically hurts. And so you just sleep very like small bits, and then you wake up and try to turn around, but it doesn't really work.
Ooh.
And so, but then, gradually it gets better. um, I took some small bike rides, which really helped to recover.
Okay.
And basically now, after 2 3 days, it feels like I actually said to Natasha this morning, Mabel, I'm starting to think about my next run somewhere next week. So
Right. Right.
yeah.
Of just a minor like 42K or something, like just a marathon. Just
Yeah, maybe.
yeah.
Let's not do that.
No. Wow, it's really really incredible. So we did the spring offering for this call. You ran for like basically against forced prostitution together with the
Yep.
team. They're actually still running.
Yep.
I think right now they're doing a whole tour around the Netherlands, finishing in Amsterdam on Friday. So they're still going.
Yeah.
So and there, it's basically a run against forced prostitution. And you mentioned in your communication beforehand that €2,500 can help one woman out of prostitution. And
Yep.
Vineyard Groningen, and you know this already, we were able to raise 2,500 exactly. And I
Yeah.
think that with other sponsors, you said that you raised another 2,500. Um,
Yep.
so that means together with the other sponsors, we provided the money to help two women to step out of that life of forced prostitution into a new life. Can you say a little bit about what that would look like? What does this mean? What do we do?
What do we do? Well, the organization, the Stichting Tot Heil des Volks, it's probably does something similar as what we've worked with before with the Overweeghuis. So they give these women the opportunity to step out of this life. Usually, when you're really stuck into this lifestyle. Sometimes it's not even forced by another, like a pimp or something like that, but forced by the situation, because you're
Mm.
addicted to drugs, or you need the money,
Yeah.
or you don't have any other opportunities in life, you didn't finish any school or whatever. So basically what they do is they at first they take you out, they help you to either quit drugs or get an education or just find a peace of mind at first, probably.
Right.
So
Yeah.
and so they just give them the opportunity. So they're not only just giving them a bed and a place to sleep, but they really try to help them to like reintegrate into society again, because
Mm.
they are really out of a normal society.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
getting used to normal structures, making new friends, all
Mm.
that stuff that for all of us is really normal. They all just have
Yeah.
to relearn that, probably.
Yeah. So how long does that take from a decision to leave that world behind to kind of a new independent life?
I don't have the exact numbers. I don't know for sure, but I know for sure that it is different for every person because their problems are different. Um, some of them come from a foreign country, so even staying in the Netherlands can be a problem, because they have to go back to their own country if they start to be here in the Netherlands legally. So that can be a problem.
Mm.
But yeah, it takes a while just to readapt to like learn new patterns. So probably I'm not allowed to say that it's not an official number, but I would say it can even if it costs a year to maybe 2 years to say officially to somebody you have a new life, so to
Yeah.
say. That's probably
Yeah.
the terms we're thinking about. Yeah,
Yeah. That's incredible.
yeah.
So just a last good question. So you are a sportsman. You work for an organization that helps people in sports to live a life of worship in that world. So how was this? Like did this thing that you did it bring some of those things together of sport as worship and you worship God with your unique talents? Like what was that like for you to experience that? And yeah, how was it for you?
Oh, that's not a small question to ask, but I can talk about that for a long time. So at first, I'd say like whenever I do sport, I believe I can worship God. So it's not only when I raise money or put
Mm,
it into a good cause, but it puts an extra dimension to it. So to me, I was actually talking to Natasha about it this afternoon. What's the difference? And I would say if you compare it to a musician, it's the moment, like many worship musicians I've talked to, sometimes they make worship music but it doesn't really feel like like worshiping, because it's sometimes it doesn't really feel like that.
mm,
Sports can be for me the same, sometimes it's just sports,
mm,
but sometimes it's really special, and probably it's just those moments when you really feel like it's you and God there.
right.
And this was one of those moments that, especially when I look back at the moment that we had a pit stop or a break at the Overweeghuis here in Groningen. So
Mm,
that was the moment that Samina, she went into the house, and there's like 5 or 6 women there who actually are thinking about stepping out of prostitution. And then
mm,
Samina walked in, and being the living example of
yeah,
that it was possible, that it is possible, because she came out of a life of prostitution, of
yeah,
forced prostitution.
yeah,
So just being that example, that's one of those things that I really, felt like, yeah, what we're doing is more than just sports. It's
mm.
living a life of worship, and giving your body as a living sacrifice is really applying to this one. So yeah,
That's incredible. Well, I
yeah,
can say on behalf of Vineyard Groningen that we were privileged to be part of what you did through sponsoring, and yeah, thank you for doing this. Such a great
yeah,
inspiration.
uh,
Yeah, I think this whole cause of forced prostitution in the Netherlands and abroad is getting closer and closer to our heart as a church. So I look forward to seeing that continue in the future as well.
yeah.
And yeah, very thankful for what you did and letting us be part of that.
Yeah, you're welcome. I also want to thank you guys for supporting financially, also for the people who were on the road. I saw several of you guys, so thank you for that. And yeah, just thanks for, especially for the funding, because you guys have no idea what the impact of this is on the in this world, and also just this project's becoming so big. So I hope it really makes a change in the world here, or at least here in the Netherlands, on the way we look at prostitution. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Jan.
You're welcome.